Welcome back to Panick Inc Custom Shop. Today we're going to be doing the setup on the version 1 showcase base. We have a basic setup kit that was sent to us by Stewart-MacDonald. Stu-Mac, one of the most popular names in luthier tools and supplies out there. They were kind enough to contribute to the project by sending us one of these setup kits, which includes an 18-inch straight edge, a string action gauge, and a set of understring radius gauges. And what we're going to do is we're going to just set this guitar up, get the string action down to where we want it, double check the neck relief, and we'll get the strings set with the radius of the fretboard. So stay tuned. Now, a proper setup needs to be done in order, or you're going to be fighting against one thing being out when you're trying to adjust something else. So you have to follow the order of how you're going to adjust your guitar or bass. The first step is adjusting your neck relief via the truss rod. This one, what you'll want to do is actually pick your bass up, sight down from the headstock, holding it on its side, and look down the neck. When you look down, the neck should be straight, maybe just a little bit of forward bow if you have no string tension on it. But what we'll do now is we'll double check that. I've already done that. This one is good and straight. We'll take our Stu-Mac Straightedge and we're going to check the relief in the center of the neck. We want all of our frets touching the straight edge. They all look good. Then we're going to check it again from around the 9th fret to the end of the neck, and again, that looks good. So we're not going to have to do any relief adjustment here. If you do have to adjust it, if you've got too much bow and you need to straighten the neck, you make your adjustments by the truss rod nut. In this bass, it's adjusted at the head. It has a 4mm Allen screw. So what you would do is we've got our A and D strings loosened just to give us a little better access to the nut, and we have the E and G strings both still under tension. You'll reach in with your wrench, get it firmly in the slot so that you don't strip anything out. I see a lot of posts on a lot of guitar groups where truss rods get stripped out because people don't firmly seat the wrench into the truss rod nut. And to make your adjustments, if you need to straighten the neck, you turn the nut clockwise. That puts tension on it and straightens it out. If you have too much buzzing in the center area and you have, excuse me, let me rephrase that. If you need to add a little bow to the neck, if you've got too much back bow, you loosen the nut. That allows string tension to pull the neck into a straighter position that way. Again, we don't have to do any adjusting on this. It was pretty much good to go when we mounted it on the base. So that's where we're at. Next step we're going to move on to is adjusting the string height on the base. Okay, now we're going to set our string height. On the KSM foundation bridge, the height adjustment is an Allen wrench screw that's in the front of the saddle, as you can see here, right next to the string. So you have to look kind of carefully, especially if you have a black finished bridge. And what we're going to do now is we're going to check the action. We're going to go to the 17th fret, use our Stewart-Mac string gauge, and check our action. And right now, it's pretty high. It's at about 130. And we want to get that down to about 105. So what we'll do is we're going to loosen up. And before you do this, on this KSM bridge, it does have this little wedge that goes in the side that wedges wedges the bridge saddles and locks them into place. We used a 2mm Allen wrench. We went ahead and pulled that off to loosen up the saddles a little bit. Again, we're going to loosen that off. Hope we went the right direction, wouldn't it? More. And that gets us about where we want to be. And we'll do that for each one of the strings. Now, for a bass guitar, we want about 105 at the 17th fret. On the E, on the G, we actually want that down to about 94. So our G is a little bit high as well. And that's got us down where we want to be. Now from here, a good rule of thumb is to get your other strings set to the radius of the neck. Now this solo neck has a 12-inch radius with our radius gauge here. You can check it at the strings, check it at the bridge. Make a little minor adjustment on the A string. Our D string down a little bit as well. Now we have all the strings well, I say all. Hold on one second. A string is a little tiny bit high. Now we have all of our strings touching against our radius gauge. So our string radius at the bridge matches the fretboard radius and the radius at the nut. Next step that we'll do is setting the intonation, because as we change our string height, that changes intonation, so we have to readjust that. Now, to set the intonation on the KSM bridge, we're going to use the same 2mm Allen wrench that we use to remove our locking screws. That goes in the end of the screw down here for the saddle. We're going to check our E, our open E, check that it's in tune. Then we want to make sure that we also have the bass in tune at E on the 12th fret. Now it's just a little bit flat, so when it's flat, what we want to do is move the string saddle towards the nut. We're going to make a little small fine adjustment here. We're not doing a lot. Same for the A. Our A is good. Our D is a little bit sharp. Now we're going to move that away from the nut. Okay, same thing with the G. Make sure we have our G in tune. Check it at 12th fret. And it's good. So now we have intonation set up, and we have done this in the order of: we check our neck relief, we set our string height, we set our intonation. If we do those things out of order, it's not going to work, and you're going to be fighting one thing against the other over and over until you go back and do it in the correct order. Now that we've got everything's set, we can go back and put our lock screws into the bridge to lock the saddles down. And our base is set up. One other thing you may need to do is adjust your pickup height. Pretty much already have the pickup height set as we want it on this when we installed them. But other than that, this thing is ready to make some music. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for Stewart-Mac for sponsoring this portion with the Stewart-Mac Basic Setup Kit. That, like I said, includes our 18-inch straight edge that we use to check our neck relief. Our string action gauge that we use to set our string height, and our set of radius gauges that we used to set the string radius to the neck radius. Be sure to go check out Stewart-Mac. Their link will be down in the description of the video. Go to our website, Panick Inc Custom Shop. While you're there, check our merch shop. Get yourself a t-shirt or a hat or a sticker or a bandana for your dog or a set of leggings for your girlfriend or yourself. Really helps us out buying merch from our shop. I know a lot of people can't just plunk down the money for a new custom base, but pretty much everybody can spend $3 or $4 on a sticker. Thanks again for checking us out. Thanks to all of our sponsors of the Showcase Base project. There'll be a link to the actual Showcase Base project hub page in the description of the video. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Ring the bell to keep updated when we upload new videos. And the next one on the Showcase Base will be this guy in action. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys on the next one.